Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve this problem, which is LeetCode 207 course schedule. So here the problem says that we have been given number of courses and the prerequisites, which says that in order to complete course 0 we need course 1. So there are total two number of courses to take, and to take course 1 you should have course 0. Okay, so to take course 1 I should have a prerequisite of course 0, then only I can take course 1. So number of courses, and this is the prerequisite. I have to return true or false whether it is possible or not. Just in this case the number of courses is 2, which is 10, and the prerequisite is that in order to take course 0 I need to take course 1, but in order to take course 1 I need to take course 0, which is a cyclic dependency, and hence the results should be Boolean false. We cannot this is not a feasible way. It's a cyclic dependency issue. Alright, so there are total number of courses that you have to take, labeled from 0 to number of courses minus 1. So the labeling of courses are in numeric digits from 0 to num courses minus 1. We are given an array which is prerequisites, which says that at any index I, AI and BI are the prerequisites. Indicate that you must take course BI first if you want to take course AI. So BI first in order to take course AI. Alright, so how can this be solved? So this dependent problems where the dependency is mentioned from A to B basically are majorly solved using graph algorithms. So in graph, considering that we are aware about the graph, we usually solve the graph problems using adjacency list, which represents the graph. So showing you how it goes is like we create a list, and at every which is a nested list, and at every index we store the list of values. Alright, so at index 0 we store one list of values, at index 1 we store other list of values, at index 3 we store other list of values. So these indexes are basically the courses, and the list of values inside this is basically the prerequisites. Alright, so here we represent these as in the form of list, not list, and the list goes like this, which is nested teacher list, array list. Alright, and this represents the graph structure in the form of we call this list as adjacency list. Alright, and now the next thing would be to populate this list with nested new array list. Equal 0 I less than num courses I plus plus. Here we will say list is equal to new array list. Alright, for every list for every for every list dot add, for every number of courses we will have this new list array list added in the index values of this 0 1 2 3 4 in the form of this. Alright, so we got the adjacency list. The second step goes basically to solve the graph problem. We create adjacency list. The second step comes to creating and maintaining the integrity of each courses. So in the graph structure we have incoming edges and outgoing edges. So how many incoming edges are at particular nodes, which is the course, we have to maintain that. And the third step comes in solving the graph problem is using the queue to get all the nodes which in degree within degree 0 and then iterate those. And in this way we maintain the count of all the courses with 0 in degree, and then we compare with the number of courses to check the authenticity of these prerequisites. Alright, so the in degree array goes something like this. New int with size num courses, and we basically, before doing this, we have to populate into the adjacency list. So for this we say int prerequisites. For every prerequisites we have a prerequisite, since prerequisites represents this and prerequisite represents this. Inside the prerequisites array we have a prerequisite, and for every prerequisite we have to create list dot get prerequisite of 1. So basically, as per the rule, it says that to take course 0 you must take course 1, which is the first index. Is the 0 index. So for the first index I will get that, and dot add prerequisite of 0. For every 1 I will take, and I will connect it with the prerequisite of 0. So here the subgraph will something look like this. For index 1 it will store 0. Here it will go like this, and in doing so I have to also store the degree. So this would be something created here, and sorry for this, I need to reformat, and here the in degree value would be set as degree dot add and degree dot add, which will be prerequisite of I, or it's an array, so we basically use prerequisite for that index, since we are adding 1 to 0, so prerequisite of 0 plus plus. So now the 0 prerequisite has an incoming edge, so prerequisite of 0 would be basically plus plus in degree. Alright, so we are maintaining the in degree, we are creating adjacency list and in degree for all those prerequisite of 0 plus plus, and this in degree is of length num courses. But since we are getting num dot add, we are adding, so let's take the indicate that take course 0, you have to first take course 1. So we need to take course 1 and then course 0. So course 0 has in degree as 1. Okay. Now coming to the queue part, which will be of integer type, and we create the queue in the form of linked list in Java, and now we will add for int I equal to 0, I is less than num courses I plus plus. For all those in degrees, if in degree of I is equal to 0, just add it into the queue. that index. I'm adding that index which has one degree as 0, and then I come to the while loop. So while basically says if not q dot is empty, if q is not empty, I already have some values in q. Now I will create a count and count 0, and now I will compare this count with num courses. To do so, I have to maintain the count, and in course equal to q dot poll. Now I did the polling part, and now I will for loop int neighbor and from the list I will dot get what. I will get the course, all the neighbors of that course. So for that index position, it will return me all the list of values, right? So for this index position, it will return me all the list of values. It can have multiple values based on the dependency. So it will return me that, and I will iterate over those values, and the multiple, it would be something like this, and among that list it will iterate through each value in that list in the form of integer, and it will check. We have that neighbor, and it will check if this one is in degree of neighbor is equal to 0, then it will q dot add neighbor. It will add the neighbor in the queue. Alright, and in degree we are reducing here in the first and only. It will add the queue neighbor in the queue. We have already polled the previous value of that course. It will add the queue. It will add the neighbor in the queue, else it won't add, and it will keep on iterating for all those codes that I did the polling, and it will continue to happen until the queue is empty. Queue is not empty. Alright, so here it will add, and it will again create the count, and here we will return count. Alright, so here it will return the count based on, return the flag value, boolean value based on count equal to number of courses. Here it is. Alright. Okay, so all the test cases have been passed. So coming to the question and looking at the solution, so we followed the graph algorithms, and we maintained the adjacency list, and considering the case where it will fail for the cyclic dependency 1001, basically the 0 will contain the 1 and the 1 will contain 0 as the adjacency list, and in both cases the in degree value will be 1 for 0 and 1 as well. In that case, none of the values will enter into the queue, and therefore the count will remain 0, and therefore the count will not be equal to num courses, and it will return false. So this will be the output for the failing case. So that's it for today's algorithm, which was course schedule, and see you in the next problem.